All right. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a live edition of 27 Outs. I, of course, am Ivan alongside Stefan. We were just here about 23 to 24 hours ago, and we were talking about free agency and some of the names who had already signed, who was ending up with the same teams, who was going to new teams, and without further ado, man, let's get into the biggest fish in the sea that was available in Juan Soto. Stefan, take it away, man.
All right, so the details are now out. He's a New York Met. Juan Soto has signed a 15-year deal for $765 million. There is a caveat in this deal. There is a $75 million signing bonus in this deal. So it's not actually 15 at 765. It is uh 15 at, I believe, 694 is the actual number. But wow, that's crazy. It's $46 million a year. Um Damn, he got paid. Not 694, I'm lying. Uh it's it's in the 700 still, but damn, he got paid. He got paid. And the one thing I will say is, yo, that's crazy. First of all, $75 million signing bonus is insanity, right? Like, that is insanity. Damn, we're here. And to say that we're surprised, I'm not.
No.
I always thought he was gonna go to the highest bidder. And credit to Steve Cohen for putting his money where his mouth is, literally, and saying, "Yo, I want you, and it doesn't matter what I have to do to reel you in. You're gonna be a New York Met," and he was. And the beautiful thing about this is that when you look at how aggressive he was throughout this process, because I was talking to people today, he was like, yo, he was not going to let this go until Soto was a Met. He was willing to go to 800 million from what I was told earlier today. So if that tells you anything, like, he wasn't going to stop until Soto became a Met. And my lord, did they get this deal done. And credit to Scott Boras for doing what Scott Boras does. We thought he lost his fastball. We thought he couldn't do it. Like, nah, dude, I'm still him. I'm still him, and we're still them, and this is what we do. So credit to Scott Boras, and my oh my, what a crazy day I've had.
Yeah, shout out to Soto and Scott Boris, who are both going to be laughing their way to the bank for the rest of their lives. And also, again, congratulations to the Mets on being able to land a guy like Juan Soto, right? That was my prediction, that was Stefan's prediction, and that was also the prediction of many who are in the industry and who also cover the game as well.
Right.
Like Stefan said, it came down to the very end. The Yankees did play very close. It could have gone either way,
So
but at the end of the day, it's the Mets who came out on top, rightfully so.
so if I heard that the Yankees' final offer to Juan Soto was 16 years, $760 million. That that's incredible, man. Like, if anybody says that Hal Steinbrenner is cheap and he doesn't want to win and he doesn't understand the importance, he just pulled a George. He just pulled a George Steinbrenner, and he did it in the most grandiose of ways. Now, you can't help it if the guy you're battling with has unlimited resources and unlimited funds, but my God, you're playing in a different stratosphere when it comes to this level of money, and credit the Yankees for even sticking in necks out that far. That's incredible.
Right. And listen, I know we're here tonight to talk about Juan Soto, but the job isn't done, right? Obviously, this is who the select few teams who were involved were obviously solely focused on when it came to Juan Soto and making sure that they could do everything in their within their budget to be able to land him. for
Right.
as long as they could. But at
Right.
the end of the day, the Mets still got to make some other moves. The Yankees now being the losers in this case, not exactly, but in
No.
terms of not being able to land him, I'm sure it hurts a bit because now you got to be able to go out there and prove, like, yes, we were able to spend this money. The question is, are you able to allocate that on 2 other players, 3 other players, 4 other players? Because it's easier said than done. We could sit
So
here and
hold
be
on.
like, oh, well, they're willing to spend it. They're willing to make this deal. They're willing to
Right.
make that deal. But can you actually land the guys that you want? Because you already struck out on one.
So I'm gonna tell you this. I think it's easier. It's easier now. Because now they know what they gotta do. Now your path is easier. You got more money than 3/4 of the league outside of the Mets and Dodgers. If you really want Corbin Burns to be a Yankee, guess what? He's gonna be a Yankee. If you really want Christian Walker, Pete Alonso, I can go down and Max Fried. If you literally want the rest of the free agent market, you can do it if you want to. I'm not saying that they do, but I'm saying there's a real distinctive possibility that the Yankees walk out of this, number one, smelling like a rose to the fan base because they gave it all that they could. And number two, you could go tell Corbin Burns, yeah, yo, here's $300 million over, 9 years. You could go tell, Pete Alonso. You could go trade for Nolan Arenado now. You can do anything virtually that you want to improve this club. Because, look, Juan Soto's a great ball player. I'm not diminishing that. But if you remember when we talked during the World Series, guys, I said to you, the Yankees would be better off allocating all that money somewhere else.
Right.
And it's good. They're going to get a chance to do that now. The question is, now, I will agree with you on one thing. If you're going to give Soto 760 plus 760 exactly, you know what that means? That you knew you had this money allocated. So you can go literally do whatever it is you want to do. Now, I'd say today, yes, the Mets got the player, but the Mets are worse off in the long term.
Or whoever signed him was gonna end up being in that same predicament.
And you could also make the argument they might even be worse off in the short term. Because how do you go about filling out the rest of this roster? Like, because guess what? Clay Holmes ain't gonna cut it as a starting pitcher. Frankie Montas
right.
ain't gonna cut it as a starting pitcher. So now you have to ask yourself, do we now climb to the top of the mountain and say, now we got to go get one of these dudes?
Right.
And so the Yankees, they have to put their nose to the grindstone. They have to start now. And if I'm the Yankees, and I know the Yankees quite well, the conversations are already kind of halfway down the road. Yo, listen, we didn't get him, but let's circle back with Corbin. Let's circle back with Scott on Corbin. Let's circle back to, other options that we may have. And let's walk out of here with, $600 million spent. Let's do that. Because you went to 760. So you clearly got the funds and the resources allocated to win it, to do whatever you want. And you just got to the World Series. So if you don't think players are going to be like, yo, these niggas just got to the World Series, let me go sign up with them and help them finish this off. You know what I'm saying? That's the other thing. Soto, this is very LeBronish to me. Like, we said it yesterday on the show. Like, this is him going to the Heat. Like, yo, you you did the thing that everybody predicted you were going to do because you were going to get the most money, right? Like, it's the Heat in a different way, though. It's not the exact same thing.
Minus the Mets having,
right?
They
No,
don't have
but
the big name players to play alongside them, right?
Right. But Cohen has the money where it's like, I don't blame him for passing down or for turning down 15 years at $51 million a year. What? Even if it's 46, listen, the contract states when he's gonna sign this, You signed for $51 million a year. You broke the average annual value record. Now, for bookkeeping purposes, it's going to say 46, which I'm fine with. But damn, like, you can't get mad at anybody here. This is how it works. This is the game of baseball. And Ivan, I want to get your thoughts on this. Can we stop with the narrative that baseball's not in a healthy place financially? Because look at the money that was just given out to one dude.
We're talking about damn near $800 million.
That's craziness, bro.
Yeah, which I have a problem with, but here on the show, it ain't my money. And if you're an athlete who is capable of playing the sport that you play in, get your money while you can. And that's exactly what Juan Soto did. But yeah, listen, while this is what we were all waiting for at the end of the day, there's still a lot that needs to unfold, right? Because listen, I'm not here to rain on the Mets parade, nor am I here to sound like a hater. But if you're a Mets fan, you know that you need more than this, right? Because just a couple of minutes ago, you mentioned Frankie Montas and the fact that you don't even know what the hell you're getting out of him, right?
Right.
And then one thing I wanted to say too is Kodai Senga. Like, are you sure that Kodai Senga is going to be able to replicate what he did in 2023?
I got you. But to answer your question with a little bit of like straight up honesty, ask them about that tomorrow morning. They don't care about that right now. They just got the biggest fish from the free agent market. You could tell them that Little Sisters of the Poor is playing for them. They don't care. Juan Soto's a Met, and they're happy about it. But I will tell you one thing. If this is all that there is, this is a horrible offseason if this ends this way. Even with the addition of Sonic Soto, and Soto's a great ball player. But, damn. You did all that.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing that's gonna come of it is you just saying like, all right, bro, he's a Met. We gave him all this money, and now what does it look like?
Because I mean, listen. While there's still plenty of time for other things to happen, just looking at the way the Mets are currently constructed, right?
That's
Listen, they aren't favorites in the National League.
not at all.
Listen, there's a couple of teams that I would still put ahead of the Mets, even with the acquisition of Juan Soto now joining the team, right? Now the
Yeah.
question is, the other teams who were also in on Juan Soto are now also going to pivot towards those players who the Yankees are now going to be interested in, right? Who the Mets may want to be interested in still, especially if they're going to continue to be as aggressive as they have been thus far in this offseason. Because listen, while Frankie Montas and signing Clay Holmes to be a starter for you isn't the biggest deals in the world, it's still something, right? And I think it's a step in the right direction for the Mets. But they certainly have to keep their foot on the gas pedal because I think the Juan Soto signing, you're really only scratching the surface. And I know that sounds crazy when you consider the amount of money that was offered, the amount of years that was offered to him. But look, considering the team overall, man, listen, like Stephen said, that's not what we're here for tonight. We're here to talk about Juan Soto and the impact and what this does, not only for the Mets, but for Major League Baseball itself. This is huge, man.
So
In
part of
every
me
way
got
imaginable.
part of me for looking at my phone while you were talking. Blake Trinan also just re-signed with the Dodgers, so there's deals happening right now. Even though this is the biggest deal, my phone is buzzing. I just have the ringer off. So this is what I will tell you. This is by nature. This is the largest contract in professional sports history. That's crazy to say, but that's nuts.
I feel like this happens like every couple of years, right?
It
I feel like
does. It
within
does.
like the next 2 to 3 years, we're gonna hear about another
Somebody else is
athlete who
gonna
signs for
somebody,
damn
yeah.
near $1 billion,
Somebody else is gonna
most
get it. Yeah,
likely.
you're right.
Yeah.
What I will say is, I want to attack these comments, but I know it's early on. But I want to attack these comments because to me, these comments They feel weak.
I mean, why not? We're here all night, right? So there's no
They
sense
they
in just waiting until the end. Let's
they
address it while we could.
they feel weak. Like, so the Yankees are a sellout. I mean, so Soto's a
Wait,
sellout.
show. We got to show. Take that jersey over. Rob, why? Why you say that for, Yorlin? Why you say that for? It's
Listen,
fitting.
listen. I'm sorry, but we're here to cover the game. We're not. I'm not here to be a Yankee fan apologist.
Biased in any way. Juan
Sorry.
Soto's is why, but why is he a sellout? He's a sellout because he didn't stay with the Yankees. So he didn't have the right to go wherever the hell he wanted to for
And
as
do
many
what he
years and
wanted.
for as much money.
And when he told you, when he basically intimated, yo, I'm a free agent, I'm free. I'm going to do what I want to do.
He said it to everyone's face.
He told you. So any Yankee fan acting shocked as if they didn't expect this, I got news for you, man. What are you talking about?
Wait, there was another thing here. He says the Mets are still trash.
You a
Listen,
hater.
I don't think the Mets are trash. I
You a
think what
hater.
makes more sense is what I just said about a minute ago. The Mets aren't favorites in the National League.
What?
No.
Listen, hold on. But for you to make, for Yolan to have that stance, that's a hater stance. I'm sorry, you're a hater.
But we know where he comes from, though, in
It
terms of
don't
his standpoint.
see, but that's why I can't. This is why I'm gonna argue about this. I can't take that I can't take that comment seriously. Because it's not like he came out of nowhere and all of a sudden now he's about his money. He never gave the Yankees any sort of inclination that, yo, this was gonna be easy. Nah. This was never going to be, yo, straight up, this was gonna be easy, blah 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 blah. He was about his money. He told you that from Jump Street. He turned down 440 from the Nationals. He turned down 400 from the Padres. He turned down the Yankees every time they asked him during the season, yo, can we talk? He turned people down.
Right. And the one thing I want to say, too, is the only
Come on,
thing,
man.
and there's literally nothing else that would actually make this make sense. The only thing that would make him a sellout is if he was telling the Yankee fans, telling the Yankee organization, like, yo, I'm coming back, especially if y'all give me exactly what I'm looking for. But like you said, Stefan, those words never came out of his mouth.
No.
You know, it wasn't like Kyrie Irving when he was with the Boston Celtics and he said, "No, I'm gonna be back."
If you
And
have
he
me,
left.
yeah, if you have me, I'll be back. Like Juan Soto never gave you any sort of inclination that was even possible.
Right.
So what are we sitting here upset about? What did listen? Here's the one thing I've learned. I mean, you've been around me long enough. Shout out to Razor who's in the comments. What's up, big fella? Shout out to everybody in the comments right now and to the people watching. Yo, what I always tell y'all, man, it's all about the business for me. So when you guys all say, yo, but why you so harsh? This is why. This tonight is the example.
So harsh about.
When you guys say, damn, yo, the way you think with the business mind, you don't even care what the. Because they don't care what the fans think. I'm sorry. Juan Soto ain't sitting here upset. He don't care what Yankee fans think. He don't care. He was going to get his money. Like, the one thing I will say is he's a professional baseball player. He does not play for free. Like, I'm sorry to drive this point home, but I think it needs to be said for certain people. Oh, he sold out. He didn't give the Yankees a chance. The Yankees offered him $760 million. What other chances do you want? You just wanted him to pick you.
Right.
And he didn't.
And you know what's funny? Even if the Yankees did land him, I guarantee you in like 6 to 8 years from now, everyone would be like, yo, but why the hell they gave him that many years? I can't believe how long we're still going to have him for. You know how it is, Stefan.
Listen.
We've seen it happen with Alex Rodriguez, and we've seen it happen with so many other players who have signed for not this long, because this is absolutely insane.
Real quick, Razor, I know you hate when I do this. I'm sorry, bro, but I got to put this comment up because you preaching right now. He wanted
but this tonight is different, bro. They just show the show. Because not only do we have what we want to say, but so does everybody else. So we could freestyle this however you really want. It does not matter to me.
You know what I mean? He wanted the most money. He never made any promises. Even after the Even when the final, right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not, see, but I don't even think he cares about that. He cared about, yo, where's the biggest bag coming from?
That's it.
Forget about roster construction. Forget about all that. Where is the biggest bag gonna come from? And he took every single solitary dollar that he could, and he got paid.
Right.
For anybody that doesn't compute how that works, I can't help you.
As he should have too, because if anyone watching right now, including myself, if you were to put yourself into Juan Soto's shoes, what were you thinking about giving the Yankees a hometown discount? Were you thinking about just going back to the Yankees just because of their history and the fact that it doesn't really have much to do with you or whatever the hell it is that you have in your mind that allows you to believe that he should have remained with the Yankees and gone nowhere else? Like, come on, man. Let's be honest.
Hold
Let's
on,
be
you
honest with ourselves tonight.
hold on. You preaching right now. You preaching so much that I gotta bring one of these back. He is out here preaching right now. Are you kidding me? You out here doing the Lord's work right now. To quote the great from Flex. You out here preaching. Are you kidding me? We gonna sit there and have this argument? We not doing this tonight. I will not do this. Because listen, what this shows me is that number one, guess what? The Mets are in is you know what? I'll say this. What the Mets did is good for it's good for them, and it shows that baseball's in a very healthy place. It is. Whether we personally like the contract or we thought it was too much, because me and him both said at one point, yo, that's too much money.
Yeah.
It's too much money. But I think anyway he would have signed. We would have all said the same thing. Because even if he signed with the Yankees, I'd have said, yo,
Even as a fan.
they
Exactly.
gave him way too much money.
Right. It didn't matter. It didn't
Like,
matter.
you gotta know where the stopping point is. Like, yo, dog, wait, hold up, huh? You said what?
And that's why,
Nah.
for those of you who were here last night on the live with us last night, shout out to you guys. And again, as Stefan mentioned, shout out to those who are watching right now. That was one thing that we said. Like, how how do the Yankees, the Mets, and anybody else who was involved not just tell themselves, like, listen, we've reached a point where we could no longer even try to get you, even if we wanted to, bro, because we're getting to an extent where this is just unheard of.
And listen, you know what's even crazier? You know what's even crazier, bro? Is that I truly believe that there was only two teams left.
Which you were actually saying from the very beginning, and you actually did not change that at all. So I'd like to give you credit for that, Stefan, because since day one, you had always said it's going to come down to New York and New York only, and that was the Mets and the
And that was the
Yankees.
Yankees. Yep. Um, you guys want a little behind the scenes fun? I'll tell you about how my reporting went today. I'll give you a little tidbit, right? So I texted somebody about, I want to say 5:30, and my question to them is it going down tonight? And with a simple answer, he says, you'll know before everybody goes to bed on the East Coast. And this was at about 5 o'clock. And we knew before midnight. The person kept his word. And he kept telling me throughout the course of the day, listen, Hal and Cash are making it real hard for him to walk away from the Yankees, bro. They're making it real hard for him. Where he'll actually sit there and he thought about it for a few days. Like, they were making offers to him up until 20 minutes before he chose the Mets.
Yeah, and that makes sense too because last night I think the last offer that we had heard that was on the table at the time was I think 7:30 by the Mets, if I'm not mistaken, right? That was at the time, 24
Yeah.
hours ago. And it
Yeah.
looks like between last night and now, it increased by $35 million, which is just it's
That's
absolutely
crazy, bro.
insane, dude. It's
Mm.
crazy.
Um.
And I don't know.
So the deal includes a $75 million signing bonus. So it's actually $46 million. Yeah, for collective bargaining purposes, it is $46 million, but that 51 sure looks nice when they tell you what the actual when they talk about this contract, they're gonna tell you it was 51 million.
Right.
Like the fans don't care about like, yo, he's actually only getting 46, which is what Otani's getting. He actually matched Otani's value, which that's pretty impressive. And look, if what I'm being told is correct, there were no deferrals in the Yankee contract. The Yankees, I don't think the Yankees offered him. Now I gotta confirm this just to be safe. But I think the Yankees straight up offer was 47.5 million a year. And I don't know if there were deferred payments in that, but like both the behemoths were behemoths up until the final hours. And wow, this was fun to cover, and it was fun, man. It was fun.
Yeah, it's for me. It was fun for one reason, obviously, because we're here with you guys tonight. But Stefan, you know this, and I'm actually going to say this now that we're live, especially. We are allowed to exhale.
Real quick, thank you, brother. Like there's so much of this. Like there's an opt out after 2029. Like appreciate it, Razor. Thank you, man. My head
in
is
2029. He'll be what 30, 31 years old, around there, right?
Listen, we might be doing this again in 4 years. Because if he outplays this at 30, you might be able to get 800.
Right. And which is very similar to what Alex Rodriguez did when he won his third MVP overall, but his second with the Yankees after his season in 2007.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I understand that this says 15 years when the ink is dry, but that's a nice little, dry run. You get a nice little chunk of change and you can go back and re-up at 30. What? Now, if I'm him, if I'm Soto, I'm not. That opt-out clause is staying right there. I'm not using that opt-out clause. You said how much money guaranteed for 15 years, and I ain't gotta go out in the market again. All right, cool.
All you gotta do is kick your feet up and put on the Mets uniform for the next 15 years
for life, and just chill.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. You know who I believe is the most excited about this? I believe the most excited person in New York City right now is Francisco Lindor, because you go from having Pete Alonso hitting behind you, or in front of you rather. Yeah, behind. Oh yeah. What is it? Behind, in front. My head's all
behind, because Lindor is the leadoff man.
Behind. Yeah. Now you got this guy. You literally got a 1-2 combination of Lindor and Soto as your 1-2 hitters in your lineup. That is. I mean, it ain't Judge Soto, but it ain't bad.
No. Especially when you consider how Lindor is capable of performing in big games such as postseason games, along with Juan Soto.
So there is no deferred money. I did see this, Razor. Thank you. But there are performance escalators that can bring the contract to almost $800 million.
Right. Maybe winning MVPs, All-Star game appearances, things like that. Silver Slug Award. Yeah.
Wow.
Wouldn't be surprised.
That, yo.
Listen, even though we only got one season out of that, Chad, I will say seeing Judge and Soto, that was the best duo I had ever seen in any lineup. And that's going back to, growing up watching guys like Manny and Big Papi.
Manny,
Big Papi, and some of these other guys who were able to put up ridiculous numbers. But Aaron Judge and Juan Soto,
that's pretty impressive.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah. Look, I'm gonna be honest. I'm not like people. We all did. I've seen it in the playoffs. Listen, for people to be upset at all tonight, let me just explain how special it is that we get to watch Juan Soto in New York City for the next 15 years.
Mm-hmm.
Put Yankee fandom aside. I get to turn on Met games and watch that guy hit every day.
Right.
If you don't think I'm going to be watching SNY like a freaking fiend, you are out of your mind. Watching that guy hit is like an artist painting the pictures. It's beautiful. right? And listen, Yankee fans, y'all can hate all y'all want.
It's personal for a lot of them, man. You know,
Why?
it's personal.
That I see that I don't understand. I don't understand the personal part of it. To me, I don't get that. I don't get the oh, it's personal. I'm upset. Why? What is it? Your money?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know this dude? Do you have family ties to him? Are you related? No. Because let me put it simple and plain. Not to be rude or a dick, but if you were in his shoes, guess what? You doing the exact same shit.
That's why I said it myself. Yeah.
Like, come on, man.
And ain't
That
nobody
sounds
gonna get in the
crazy.
way of that. No fan, no nothing is gonna get in the way of that.
And nor should they.
Right.
Nor should they. Because here's the reality, right? Not to go back to this once again, but he told you so. He warned you. He said to you, "Yo, I told you so." Not maybe, not if, not what. No, I'm going to get my money.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I don't understand the whole personal narrative. It's personal. Why is it personal? What does that even mean?
Well, they won't actually say that, but if you were to just listen to what some people are saying, which we're not going to hear the end of it, right, Stefan? Because while this is the off season, we're only going to continue to hear more of it as uh, time goes on. But of
Right.
course, when the 2025 season actually begins, we're going to hear it a whole lot more than even going to the subway. Like, listen, man, I could really go on here and let you guys know how long we are going to hear Yankee fans be bitter about Juan Soto's decision to sign with the New York Mets.
Well, I got news for you. I'm happy he's still in New York. I'm
Yeah,
happy if I want to, I can roll up to City Field with this dude and like, yo, let's go to the Met game tonight.
right,
Because
right.
we could watch Juan Soto do Juan Soto things.
Exactly.
How can you hate that?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sorry if I'm taking the diplomatic approach, but don't care. Don't care. You see what my thought process is he's still in New York City. He still gets the bright lights. And you know what? Honestly, it's not like he went to a team that wasn't contending. The Mets went to the championship series last year. So
Exactly.
you could see a world in which he says, "Yo, I got the Acuna kid, I got Ronnie Mauricio, I still got Frankie Lindor being Frankie Lindor.
Mark
Like
Vientos.
I got Mark Vientos over here. I got a bunch of younger cats that I could grow with. They could grow with me.
Right.
We could make some noise. Like that's why the whole idea that you don't understand why he signed with the Mets, my answer to you would be, why don't you understand it? Not only did he sign for the most money, which was always going to be the likeliest of outcomes, but he's doing it for a franchise that is on an upward trajectory. Like you got position players that are young, that are not in their prime or about to pass their prime. I think when he looked at the Yankees, I think he said to himself, well, Judge is about to be 32, Cole is about to be 35, Rendon's about to be 31. Like what I got here is Jason and a bunch of maybe. Now, what I will say is
You see Emilio's comment there? He said, I guess all the money I put wasn't enough. That is funny. I
that's
remember telling Emilio all year long too. I was like, "Yo, you going to so many games, bro. You might as well just start making contributions to Juan Soto's deal if he comes back."
yeah, man. I listen, I'm not to sound like I'm an apologist, but I'm thrilled for the dude.
Yeah,
Like you gotta understand where these dudes come from too. Like they come from really impoverished circumstance. Like yo, this dude is about to make more money than his family would ever know what to do with, and he
right,
gets to play baseball doing it, and you're doing it in New York. You can't beat that with a stick, even if you try, bro. That's a beautiful thing.
right.
It's beautiful. And if
Follow us
anyone,
on Instagram at 27 outs 3C. And for those of you who are rocking with us right now, huge thank you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. We
word,
have been looking forward to this for quite some time, and I'm sure you guys have as well.
So
Wow, man.
I have a funny. You want to hear a funny? People ask me, yo, so can you sleep now? No.
No. Mm-mm.
In fact, I would venture a guess it's about to get turned into overdrive, bro. Like sleep.
Right.
Who? Huh? You think Brian Cashman and his staff are going to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
No way. No way.
I mean, there's so many guys that are still on the market. You know,
Yeah.
Corbin Burns, you mentioned earlier, Max Fried, Anthony Santander. There's guys who could be available via trades. Nolan Arenado, Cody Bellinger.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
who's to say that a guy who we haven't really heard of just yet isn't going to be on the move, right? Like these
So,
things could happen.
all right. Can I make you feel a little bit better, Yankee fans? Can you imagine a opening day rotation in 2025 that features Garrett Crochet, Corbin Burns, Garrett Cole, Carl Jordan as your top four starters in the rotation? How does that tickle your fancy, Yankee fans? How does that make you feel?
You see, here's my thing, right? And if I were to put myself into the shoes of a typical Yankee fan, which this is not me throwing shade at Yankee fans, right? Because I myself am one, but I think a little differently, and we've talked about that here on the show, Stefan, and we've made that very obvious, not only to ourselves but to everyone who watches us, right?
Mm-hmm.
While it sounds good, I think, and remember how important him going to the Mets specifically bothers them deep down inside.
Mm-hmm.
I think that the Yankees are at a point now where, while it sounds good, they want to just see it. Like actions, actions, actions.
Understood. Now, Razor makes an interesting comment here, and I'm gonna push back on that just a little bit. Um, well, if in practicality, no, right? But I wonder where the desperation meter is for them to say, yo, we just got to a World Series. What does Jason Dominguez mean? What does all that mean? You know what? He might be. And I can see that too, because they're talking about trading Meyer, one of their top prospects, to Chicago. So he might be. But to know that the Yankees are in the conversation to try and trade for a guy like that, that just means they're leaving no stone unturned. Listen, even if it's not Garrett Crochet, if I told you rotation still features a guy like Corbin Burns and Garrett Cole, and if Luis Hill pitches well in his second season, like you still got a nice little rotation. It's not bad. It's
Right.
not the Mets. You're not throwing out Frankie Montas and Clay Holmes. No shot, but like it's not bad. Um, I will say though, like
here's my dream moves. Go ahead.
I wonder though, and Razor, you could probably answer this for us
Because if they don't do
because
this, then I don't give a damn who they bring. But go ahead.
well, um, I wonder if this pushes them to go trade for Corbin Burns now. To go sign a Corbin Burns, the Mets
Sign.
I'm talking to sign a Corbin Burns, the Mets I'm talking about. After giving Soto all that money, like why stop there? Why not go get the ace of the staff? Kodak Sanger, he don't look like he's an ace. So
So
why not
here's
go
my
get the
question though,
ace?
Stefan. If the Mets do that, where do the Yankees go? And this is what I was telling you the other day when we were having conversations off the air. I was like, listen, it's not just the Yankees who are going to be in on these guys.
I
It
understand
could
that.
easily go to a team where you don't want them to end up.
But where do the Yankees go is like asking me where the needle in the haystack is. My responsibility is not to find out what they do. My responsibility is to tell you what I think they might do. Because I'm not in the room with them. Right? Like,
Okay.
so
So
it's
let me give you my dream list in terms of who I would like for them to acquire, whether it be via trade and signing, and then you tell me where do you think they go. Is that fair? Could we do that with everybody who's watching right now?
go ahead.
Okay. I, as a Yankee fan, would like to see the Yankees, after missing out on Juan Soto,
Mhm.
acquire Corbin Burns, trade for Cody Bellinger, and listen, I'd say try to bring in either dudes like Anthony Santander or an Alex Bregman.
I
I'll
think
take
most
that.
I think most Yankee fans will be right there with you. Because
Now,
I think you could get Santander done. I think that makes tons of sense for them. He's left-handed. He's gonna hit for power. He's just like Soto on the outfield. It's like watching a dude with two left feet. He
mhm.
ain't the best outfielder, but I guess that's here nor there. Um, but you can still do whatever you want to do. Like this is what I'm saying. There's gonna be competition all over the board, but like, do the Red Sox want to spend the amount of money it's gonna take to sign Alex Bregman when you barely were in it for, like, they were in it for Soto, but like it stopped at a certain point.
Yeah,
They were over 700, but barely over 700. Like,
credit to them. At
right,
least
like,
somebody knew to back up.
so it's like, all right, yeah, there's gonna be competition. There always is competition. You shouldn't be afraid of the competition, but you should walk around as if, yo, we're the Yankees. Screw your competition. We just got to the World Series. We don't have no other. See, this is where I would agree with your point. If they didn't make the World Series and Aaron Judge and Garrett Cole weren't aging veterans, I'd say, you know what, take your foot off the gas pedal and let's go a different way. But they don't have that option. So competition be damned. There is no competition. Your free agent prize just left. If you get beat for anybody else you want in this market, then that's a conversation that you have to look in the mirror for. You
Which
have
is
to look in
very
the mirror for that,
possible. Very
right?
possible.
So the competition aspect I get, but I disagree with, because at that point, at that point, I feel like we can only sit there and talk about, you know what I mean,
Right.
what they can do.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. We can't predict the future. We don't have crystal balls. But if you don't think that Cash is going up to his suite right now and Dallas going, is there a move that I can pull off that kind of shocks the baseball? He's thinking about something. He got something up his sleeve. He got multiple things up his sleeve, and
Right.
that's what the good general managers do. Whether or not he pulls it off, it takes two to tango. It takes two to take your money. And here's the thing: playing for the Yankees, that's a different level of pressure. Yeah, the money's all well and good, but if you don't produce, the fan base will kill you. Look at what they've done to Giancarlo Stanton. Look at what they did to Judge in the playoffs. So when you put a Yankee uniform on, it's different. It's a different breed. It takes two to tango. The Yankees can offer all the money, the resources, the allocation of dollars that they want, but it takes the players to want to come here and do it. But competition be damned, because if anybody can say screw the competition, to quote the great Fabulous, there is no competition. There
Mm-hmm.
ain't none. I can literally go get anybody I want. And that's if I choose to. If I don't, then I gotta look in the mirror.
Right. There's a comment here. I just want to say something briefly. So this person says Sasaki can make or break a team's off season. See, I only think that makes sense for two reasons, right? Now, he makes the off season if his game translates well here in the States.
Yes.
And does he really break it? I don't think so, because it's not going to cost anything. So
Right.
at the end of the day, I don't necessarily see how. But it could make a team's off season. Absolutely. If he comes over here and if he's not the same exact thing, no surprise. But if he could be at least something close to that, I could see how that makes sense. Absolutely.
So there's a comment I want to get to. Razor referenced this earlier. This is not Robinson Cano. Stop this. Stop that foolish thought right now. Juan Soto didn't go all the way to goddamn Texas for his money. He went to a team that was 2 wins away from the World Series. Can we stop with the Robinson Cano comps? Why you guys so butthurt over this?
Right, but let's show because we want everybody to be able to
Jesus
see these
Christ.
things.
What the hell are you talking about? How is this the same thing? Y'all can tell me if I'm tripping in the comments. I'm being serious. Tell me if me and this dude are wilding. Is it the same thing, Ivan?
No,
It's not the same thing. Your man went to a team across the river that's in contention to win the World Series, just like the Yankees are. He didn't go to Pittsburgh. He didn't go to Milwaukee. He stood in New York. How is this Robinson Cano 3? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Like, sometimes I wonder if people understand the amount of money we're talking about, bro.
Yeah.
Like, oh, but I would have stood with the Yankees because I love the guess what? I love money more. If the Mets told me and you today, yo, let's just play this game. We had a Yankee podcast, right? Let's just say this show was strictly about the New York Yankees, and our contract was coming due with the Yankees. And the Mets say, yo, we're gonna give you a 30 to 40% pay raise. What me and you gonna do? We're gonna look at each other. We're gonna say, yo, that Yankee, you know what I mean? If they come close, we might match it. But if the Yankees have no intention of coming close to matching what we want, guess what?
It becomes a Met show.
All day.
Yeah, easily by far.
Listen, I put on a Soto Met jersey. I'll be, you know what I mean? I'll be doing the chants. I'll be all over City Field.
You know, I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Why does this bother you guys? Why does me having this song bother you guys? It ain't personal. I ain't wearing this to get under anybody's skin. Yo, it's fitting. Do you guys understand current events and the times that we live in? Like, listen, had he signed with the Yankees, I would have been right here with a Yankee jersey or some Yankee vintage tee that I have in my closet.
Yeah, true.
This is not, and Stefan, I'm glad you just said what you said a minute ago. This is not a Yankees podcast.
No.
I'm sorry yes, Stefan is a Yankee fan. Yes, Ivan, am a Yankee fan as well. But never have we ever said here on this channel, yo, this is a Yankees podcast. This is a baseball show, guys. It's a baseball show. It's about all 30 Major League ball clubs.
Yeah,
I'm sorry if that hurts you, but it's the truth.
Like, I'm gonna be honest. Well, I always say this, and I want to get back to the point you just made about you made a point about
which one?
Jesus, you made the point. Anyway,
if it comes back to you, just mention it out of nowhere.
It is not. This is not a Yankee apology tour. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna sit there and do this for as long as we're here. Sorry if that bothers you, but damn that.
You know what I think they wanted us to do, Stefan? And I'm not gonna take long to say this, but I think they wanted us to come on the show wearing all black, or not wearing all black. Excuse me, I take that back. They wanted us to come on the show wearing Yankee gear, and they wanted our tones to be like this. Well, guys, we're here today because he decided to go to the Mets instead of the Yankees.
Hell no.
We feel defeated.
Nigga, when I got that notification, you know how excited I got? You know how amped up I am right now? I get to see one of the top 5 hitters probably in this era play in New York for the next 15 years. Sorry if it offends anybody, but I'm a baseball fan first.
And also, too, for those of you who are defeated at the fact that Juan Soto chose the Mets rather than the Yankees, if you love Juan Soto that much, why don't you yourself go to Citi Field? Go watch the ball game.
Become a Met fan.
Like, you love Juan Soto that much?
Become a Met fan, right?
Yo,
become a Met
hop
fan.
on the 7 train, go to Citi Field, sit down as you would if you were to go to Yankee Stadium, and watch Juan Soto's at bats.
Yo, real quick, fuck all that. Just get a Grimace mask. Put the whole Grimace onesie on. Be a Grimace. Be Grimace. Like, you know what, Dollars? I don't see where they're coming from. Like, he says he sees where they're coming from. I don't see where they're coming from. I can't see where they're coming from. My brain won't allow me to see where they're coming from.
I can't. So I see where they are coming from, but I don't agree, not one bit.
My brain is not choosing to even entertain the nonsense of where they're coming. What do you mean?
But I'm gonna remind you constantly, Stefan. We haven't heard anything yet. We haven't heard anything yet, bro.
From what?
You know, when the season begins, it's gonna be worse. I'm telling you.
That's why.
If you and I feel how we feel right now, listen.
So, but here's where Dollars, you just made the great point. You're looking at it from a baseball business perspective. You know why?
Because that's what we do here.
That's the only way for my brain to compute what the hell just happened. I can't compute being upset as a Yankee fan that he didn't come back. Because guess what? I was the Yankee fan when the final out of the World Series was made on the remember the live stream in Game 4? What's the one thing I kept saying consistently? Yo, I don't want him back. I can see him coming back, but I don't want him back.
Right.
Because strictly from a baseball perspective, see, what you guys got to understand is baseball is a business. Yes, the fans are needed. The fans help generate revenue. The fans are needed. I'm not crapping on fans. But fans also have to see the other side, that put yourself in these players' shoes. You want them to put themselves in your shoes from the fans' perspective, and how much it hurts. Put yourself in their shoes. See the other side. See the side where it says, yo, somebody's offering me more money than I even know what to do with. How do I go and tell my father and my mother and my family, yo, I turned down the Mets because I wanted to play for... Now, he would have been all right playing for the Yankees. It's not like he would have been broke. But, yo, these dudes keep score by how much money they make. Right. The rest of it is all relative. The rest of it is just all fodder and bulletin boards. They don't care about none of that.
So I feel like people always forget, especially when it comes to athletes, like this is their bread and butter.
This is what they do to live.
Yes, this is what they do for a living.
Yes. So, like, yeah, they get to play baseball and the weather's nice and they go on the best facilities, but, yo, they got to travel to different cities almost every week. They're in and out of different time zones every day.
You're rarely with your families.
Right. You get 6 months where you don't even see the inside of your crib. Now, they get compensated fairly well to do what they do. I'm not denying that. This is way too much money. Even what Ohtani signed for is way too much money. But if this is what the market is bearing out that they're worth, you expect them to take a lowball offer because you want them to play for your favorite team? I don't understand. Not to use this comp, but I'm sorry, not everybody's Jalen Brunson that's going to leave money on the table.
Right.
Mm-hmm. It don't happen like that. It don't. And when you get a guy like Jalen Brunson, you applaud him and you say, well, thank you, Jalen, for doing the thing that you feel is best for the franchise. But Soto wasn't drafted by the Yankees. Soto didn't have any allegiance to the Yankees. Soto had an allegiance to one person, and that is Juan Soto. You know what I mean? Juan Soto had an allegiance to himself. The rest of this is just all noise. And tonight proved my point. Yeah. Tonight proved that, yo, this is a business to these folks. It's a business to the Yankees. The Yankees put their best foot forward. They felt great about the chances they made. And listen, real quick, can we just give the Yankees some love? That's a ballsy move by Hal. To go as far as he did when he could have stopped and said, nah, I'm not doing that.
Absolutely, yeah.
For him to say, yo, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to keep getting as close as I could possibly get. What does that tell you?
And he kept his word, too. Because remember, just a few weeks ago, he said that he's going to be able to get any free agent that he would like to.
Yeah.
And while he didn't get Juan Soto, he sure played it very close.
At one point today, I thought he was coming back to the Yankees. I'm like, yo. When I heard 760, I was like, no way.
Yeah. I was always paying attention to what you would share with me, but my gut feeling and my original thought never changed. Like it not even for a second did I think like, yo, there's a chance. Like there might be a chance. No, it was strictly Mets from the moment the Dodgers won the World Series.
Got you. And listen, like I said, the pivot points, we could talk about the pivot points at some other time. Because the pivot points, that's going to play out in real time. We're going to be back here doing the pivot point.
Yeah, we'll be here for that stuff, of course.
But tonight is just how to articulate how special this is for this one player to get this much money from the richest owner in sports.
And I know we haven't touched on this just yet, but this is a big win for Latin players as well.
Hell yeah!
Like I know Juan Soto and this is all his and his family's along with Scott Boras. But listen, for any Latino players who are 5'2" players or even close to what Juan Soto is in the batter's box, this is a win. Yeah. This is a win.
Yeah.
because as we know, Stefan, and you mentioned this earlier tonight, it happens in sports. It happens. And then I followed it up with it happens every couple of years. One guy's breaking this record, you got another guy breaking that record. It's just a matter of time before somebody else who is of Dominican descent, right? Who is going to be able to do exactly what Juan Soto is doing, but on a completely different scale. Now, when will that be? We don't know. But one thing for sure is we do know that it will happen. It's just a matter of when and who. Is that player already at the major league level? You know, it could be somebody who's in high school, bro. It could be somebody who's playing at the college level, somebody in the minors. Like that. That's how close and how far we could be to seeing this, but on an even crazier stage, bigger stage, rather, I should say, in the future.
Yo, listen, man. I I'm sorry, but like, yo, guess what? When my head hits the pillow tonight and we leave this broadcast,
I'm chilling.
you chilling. Guess where I'm going?
No, of course, I understand what you mean, but for the sake of the decision or the Juan Soto decision, however you want to call it, like this isn't something that is going to be something that pisses us off before we go to
No,
bed. Like
no
we're not
way.
waking up tomorrow like, damn, I can't believe he chose the Mets instead of the
Nah,
Yankees.
nah. You know what it is.
Now
Too,
the money
bro?
might be something where I might hit Stephen like, yo, I can't believe he signed for that much.
Yo, no, that
But
money is
where? I don't care.
that money. And see, but here's the thing: we gotta stop looking at the money as a shocking thing too, because Otani got 700. Like these guys are making this bread, bro.
Mm. One question I want to ask you, I do want to ask you, Stefan, is before I get into that quickly,
I'm
make sure you
tired,
follow
yo.
us on Instagram at 27ounce3C. And for those of you who are watching right now live on YouTube, shout out to you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel if you have not already done so. My
Mm-hmm.
question to you, Stefan, and those
Yo.
of you who are watching us live right now, do you think, and I think I know the answer to this, but I just want to get a feel for what everybody else is thinking. Do you
Mm-hmm.
think that it was going to get to this point, whether he performed that way in the postseason or not? Or do you think that was the thing that got it to 700 million plus?
I don't know if it's necessarily one thing because that's unfair. Like you can't say one thing kind of pushed, the rest of it forward. But I do think recency bias plays into the idea that this guy showed up in October when it mattered most and he put on a show. Like I do think that plays a part, but you can't gloss over the fact that he hit 41 home runs. He drove in 100 RBIs in the regular season. This guy's consistently one of the most efficient hitters in the game during the regular season, wherever he is, whether he was in DC, whether he was in San Diego, and even his numbers in San Diego, those were considered down years, and he still averaged 280, hit 35 home runs, and drove in 100. Like, even his down years, most people would pray for his down years, and those are his down years.
Yeah, and those
You know what
down
I'm
years
saying?
are what get people the $300 million deals that they're looking for nowadays.
Or in his case, 760 plus.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What it does show you is that baseball's overall way of viewing players is very flawed. Because if you're gonna tell me that you're heavily analytical, tell me how this deal lines up with the analytics that you preach about and the being able to evaluate how good a player is gonna be long term. I think the Mets just took the analytical portion of the signing and threw it out the window and said, "Listen, this guy's a once in a generational talent with the bat, and so we could live with him being compromised in right field. We could live with all the mistakes he's gonna make. We could live with all of that because of how efficient he is with the bat, his on base percentage, all of that is true. So I just think that needs to be factored in as well. Because Met fans, you're happy now, but there's gonna be a couple balls he plays in right field where you're gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah. That's right.
like,
That's right. Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, the guy that's ooh, brother, ooh, yeah, that
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna have that reaction.
But
What?
because of how great he is in the batter's box, he's going to be able to
That's
make up for that very easily.
you flush it down the toilet. Listen, he did what he had to do. The Mets
I,
did what they
I, I
had
could
to.
already smell the Juan Soto jerseys being made right now as we speak.
Oh, they printing them
The
right now.
letters being stitched.
They printing them right now. The one thing I would love to know is what's going through Aaron Judge's mind right now.
Yeah.
Is he like, yo, I scorched earth, Hal? Up this, get me Bregman, get me Santander. Get like, I wonder where his head is.
Yeah. And also how involved is Aaron Judge going to be now, right?
I
Because
mean,
one thing that we heard Aaron Judge say just a few weeks ago was that he hadn't spoken to Juan Soto since that last out was made
I
in
was
the
your
World
team.
Series.
I was your teammate for 6 months, bro. Well, how much speaking do you need me to do?
Right, which I get, and a lot of people were saying that even when they said that Hal Steinbrenner, why the hell was he even flying to go speak to Juan Soto? But
No,
now that
him. No. Hal's different, and I'm gonna
right,
tell you where Hal is different. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'll let you
uh,
finish the thought. Hal is different because Hal's not in the clubhouse every day. Hal's not on the field. Hal's barely with the team maybe 2, 3 times a year. Hal's the owner of the team. So you want to get the most money you could possibly get from this dude. So you want to build a rapport with him on some like, yo, what is your vision for the team? How are we going to build moving forward? Like you want to build that rapport with him one on one, right? But in terms of you getting a call from Aaron Judge for Aaron Judge to recruit you or to woo you or to make you feel any more special, yo, dude, I was on the field with you for 6 months. You seen what I could do. How much more wooing do you need? I'm done speaking.
mhm.
We just made the World Series together. Like, why do I need to talk? What do we need to talk about? What houses in Connecticut or Jersey you might like more? The one with the 3-car garage instead of the 4-car garage?
Right.
Like, come on.
Well, the good thing about this too is, while I know Juan Soto is more than capable of being able to move wherever the hell he wants now, um, but he doesn't have to, right? So wherever it is that he does reside, or at least where he was residing at with the Yankees, I would say, he could stay right there.
Now, knowing him, because he probably don't want to be. I mean, I can see him getting a nice little spot in like Jersey or Connecticut or some shit like that, being away from the city when he's not, on the field. But hey, man, um, shout out to Juan Soto. Like we beat this thing to death. The final thing I will say is you had a point before I cut you off.
I lost it. It'll come back to me.
Um, I just want you guys to realize and appreciate how hard the game of baseball is. So when somebody offers you this level of money, that means they believe in your talents being able to translate wherever you are. Juan Soto's one of those dudes. It's Juan Soto, it's Aaron Judge, it's dudes like that. And there's only a few of them. There's not very many people that do what these guys do on a daily basis. So, damn.
Yeah.
Like, how can you be upset with this? Like, and then the other thing is, yo, you know what this further proves? Lockout coming real soon.
Yeah.
Because you said the Yankees offered, huh? Who? 760, 765, 800. How the rest of baseball supposed to compete with that?
Mm-hmm.
We might lose a season over this, my boy. Full season.
A full season?
Yeah.
Really? I don't know, a full season, man.
Because how is it going to
Especially
change?
with the amount of money that is out there
No,
nowadays.
but
Like, do that many people want to miss out?
No. But how is it going to change? These owners at some point feel like they have to take a stand to have some sort of parity, right? What's going to stop this from being an easy resolution, and I'm saying this now so you guys can clip up this point that I'm about to make.
But you think it'll take a full year?
Yes.
That's my only argument. I'm not arguing that there won't be a lockout. Because I get the point behind that.
You know why
But the fact that it'll take that long, I just think that there's too much money out there to be made.
That's a fair point.
And while they'll be okay with missing out on what, maybe half of that or maybe a little more, I
Right.
don't think they'll be too fond about missing out on all of it for an entire year.
So let me ask you a question. The moment the moment the word salary cap comes out of an owner's mouth, you think that's gonna be something they hash out amicably? No.
No, big market teams are going to be like, the hell are you talking about?
No, not even the big market teams, the players. Because the owners want a
Oh,
salary cap.
yes. Yes, right.
The players are gonna be like, "Oh, salary who? Nah, lock us out right now. We'll be here until you niggas decide what you want to do. Lock us out right now.
Right.
Lock us out." Because the salary cap is not all that there is. There's also the international market. There's also the television issues that baseball's having. Like what this signing proves tonight, and we're leaving now, is that while baseball's in a healthy place, it's like the have and the have-nots. The haves will continue to have. The have-nots are looking up like, damn, we got to go through another cold, long, hard winter. Damn, this sucks.
Mm-hmm. But I also think while maybe it would be good for most teams in the long run, I kind of think a salary cap would take away from the whole feeling of what an offseason feels like, right? There would be
No,
no sense for, oh, this guy's gonna get 800 like this. You get what I'm saying? Like
but
it takes that away.
that's a good thing though. I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm-hmm.
Makes these players sign faster because you're all getting the same shit.
Mm-hmm.
So there's not no, yo, let's put the measuring stick out, see who signs for what and how long. No. The numbers are all relatively equal. What I would do, this is what I would do. The salary cap for certain players can be different. So, like, if you're a 4-time All Star, 3-time Gold Glover, 4-time Silver Slugger.
Oh, I don't think they go that far, bro. You think they go that far? That's very specific.
Hold on. They do it in the NBA. They do it in the NBA.
Specific.
No,
Right.
but they do it in the NBA. The NBA has a salary cap where it goes all NBA, second team, first team. If you hit a certain number of games, if you make the All-Star team, you get this bonus. You get that bonus. You get this added into your contract. Yeah, nah. We're going to get there. Like All-Star game appearances, all that shit. All that's going to be added into contracts now. Watch.
Right.
When you start talking about salary cap, all that's going to be added in because then you want to make the playing field equal for everyone. So
because it's already a part of the game, but it only increases the value of the contract itself.
It does, but it also
with where we're at right now.
Yeah,
because one thing that Rick mentioned earlier, that this contract could damn near reach $800 million. Everything that's included.
Craziness.
Yeah.
But but baseball also, like, you have to rein it in somewhere. You know what I mean? There has to be some level of free reign. Like, nah, we not going all the way here because where's the drawback? You know what I'm saying? So I guess that's the main point. But yo, any final thoughts before we get out of here, man?
Final thoughts. I'm gonna say it again. Congratulations to Soto. Congratulations to Scott Boras. Congratulations to the Mets. Congratulations to the Dominican Republic. I know people are probably going crazy over there. I would not be surprised, especially the people who are from the neighborhood, who where Ron Soto comes from. But I'm going to say this about myself again. And Stefan, this was something that I had been telling you over the past couple of months while I was keeping up with things. And we would have countless conversations about this exact moment that we are live for right now. I'm glad, there were times where the rumors became a little bit overwhelming for me because it was this hour you would hear this, that hour you would hear that. And it was daily, right? It wasn't like this thing stopped. This was nonstop, 24/7 around the clock. So to be able to sit here and one, be able to get back to content, right? But two, be able to just step away from this one topic that was just absorbing all of us as baseball fans like a freaking black hole. I'm happy.
So If it was overwhelming and stressful and all that shit for you, imagine me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Because I know, especially with somebody like you who is
Oh
gonna
man.
be in on the rest of the free agents and where they're gonna land and for how much and for how many years.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, listen, I do think that you're able to at least exhale tonight just a little bit. Now I know you're gonna be up. You said that.
Mm-hmm.
So, stay up for as long as you have to, not too long.
I hope not, because I would like to
But
get some sleep, because I know tomorrow,
just breathe.
if I'm hearing anything, if I'm hearing anything close to what's about to go down, tomorrow might be more bonkers than tonight. We might hit this thing again tomorrow night, because I'm hearing like bonkers, 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 like 3, 4 big signings in one day type shit. So if my math is mathing right now, as the kids like to say, we gonna be back here. But
And I
um,
hope some of those, if they are going to happen, I hope some of those are Yankee moves
I mean, we'll see.
because I'm not expecting anything less.
Not we'll see. I would agree with you. Um, the one thing I will say is from the reporter's perspective, and I don't say this to get pity. I'm just part of this is just part of what we chose to do. Um, it's not easy, man. When you're up countless hours, you're not sleeping very much. You're just trying to put the pieces together, and you really don't want to miss nothing, because it's a really busy time of the year. Like, it's fun, but it's also not fun, because then
Yo,
you
but I thought they said this was the most wonderful time of the year, bro. Are you
it
trying to change that? Don't
no it
try to
is
come up with your own definition of that
no
shit.
it is no it's the most wonderful time of the year. There's no doubt about that. But like, all right, so Wednesday is gonna be like a pop apocalypse 1,000. Like, I'm gonna be like a zombie, like,
Wait,
because
what's Wednesday?
Wednesday's the final day of the winter meeting, so that's
Oh,
when
okay, got
everybody
it.
leaves.
Right.
So we're gonna be on Zombie 5,000 by the time we get to Wednesday, because
Mhm.
I don't anticipate having a normal night for, I want to say, the next 72.
We might have to come on the show rather than putting water in our mugs, but
Coffee,
coffee instead.
something, please
Black
help
coffee at that.
on some cowboy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, nah, tonight was fun. Even last night, man. Before we go, we had some of you guys rocking with
It
us
was rocking in
12,
here late.
12:30, 1 a.m. And listen, what time is it right now, actually? Where's my phone?
We
It
doing this
is it's
again?
al- it's almost midnight, and we got a few of you guys here. Y'all been here from the jump.
Hey man,
You guys have stuck around. Shout out to Chad. Shout
big
out
time.
to Razor. Shout out to Manny. Shout out to Andy. I want to give shout outs, man. You guys deserve to be acknowledged.
For sure.
Listen, while Yorlin, we weren't too big about what it is that you had to come here and say. Shout out to you for always stopping by and showing love.
Supporting and showing
Yeah,
love.
man. And I know some of you guys who watch are quiet, man. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts. This isn't this is a judgment free zone, right? Like, while we may not always agree with what you say, listen, I mean, it's only right that you get to see what we think as well as some of the other people who watch 27 Outs, right? So don't be afraid to leave comments. Don't be afraid to like. And Stefan, I'm gonna toss it your way one last time. But before I do that, one last friendly reminder: make sure you follow us on Instagram at 27outs3c. And last but of course not least, make sure you subscribe to the 27 Outs YouTube channel. Any last words, Stefan? I see you looking at your phone. It could be about that. It could be about whatever.
No, so we just scrolling through, because I really just want us to get a feel for where everybody's at. Yeah, you would have thought, if you're reading through some of Yankee Twitter, that a relative was just they're deceased,
They're treating
or
it like a funeral.
or they just lost like relatives, or they just
Yo,
like
that's why I said what I said, bro. I think a lot of people wanted us to show up tonight wearing full blown Yankee gear. They wanted us to lower our tones. They wanted us to shed a couple of tears if we had it in us. And they just wanted us to just talk about how this was going to negatively impact the Yankees. And quite frankly, Listen, I don't think it does. I genuinely don't think it does because the
I don't
one thing
either.
that we have made very clear, especially here on tonight's show, is that the Yankees are now able to move on to other players, whether it be two, whether it be three, whether it be four. That sounds way better than just giving. What was it? The last offer, 760 to Juan Soto.
So 760 over 16 years, which averaged out to $47.5 million per year.
I'd rather sprinkle that amongst a couple dudes.
Got you.
Yeah.
Feel you. Anyway, kids, we ain't got to go home. But we got to get the hell up out of here because I got to go back to work. Ivan, real quick, before we don't leave yet.
I'm
don't
here.
leave yet. All right, cool.
So we still recording or
no? I'm gonna end the stream right now. Bye, guys. But I'm telling you, don't leave yet.